Oh, is this for public consumption? Is this for public consumption?
Well, the idea, I guess, that John Tracy and I had was that I thought it'd be cool to introduce people to the makers of the shows that are going to be happening as sort of a way to introduce people to the people, but also to the shows, because, and so that's what, so I think I'm doing that with everybody in the festival, like every performer and writer and stuff. And it's really cool for me. And then in the case with you folks, it's you know, it it's also it's a show that, as far as I know, doesn't hasn't existed until, like, I mean, there are a bunch of shows in the One for All festival that, like, it's really exciting, but there are a bunch of shows that are in progress or works in progress, or and a lot of them are the sort of the first attempt, not all of them, but the first attempt at them. So this is going to be, am I right about that? This is going to be the first ever performance production of a thing that is currently being made. Is that right?
That's correct. It is originally, Layla and I have been working on the full play, which is Five Women and One Man, for about the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then Layla, about a month ago, when everything was happening in Iran, on our weekly meetings, she was like, "We got to get this out sooner. Can we make it into a solo show?" And we were like, "Yes!" So now we've been writing these last 3 or 4 weeks, just, readjusting the viewpoint, the spine of the piece to a solo piece, which hopefully will be a companion to the full length play when we're 3/4 of the way done with that. That those two things can move forward in the world together.
Also, that also they might it might always be part of the presentation of the Fuller play too.
No, I think it would
Oh,
be, the one theater might book the full length play, and then, we might be doing it, at a fringe festival, the solo play. Do you know what I'm saying?
Got
It's
it.
just
Okay, so they'll both exist and they'll both go out and live.
they're two different projects. Yeah.
Yes, two different but related related
Well,
projects.
it's a version is this streamlined. We lost a lot of our same characters, storyline, whatever. It's a much shorter, streamlined, much more portable, affordable version, the solo. And then there's a full-length play. It's harder to get a full-length play produced than solo piece. So we'll have
Well, that
both
must be
versions.
hard because it's really hard to get a solo piece produced, which is all I've experienced. So if it's even harder to get a play with more than one person, that's really, really hard. That's really, really difficult. So,
I've actually done two different solo plays myself and toured them around.
so
So
now
it'd be my
this will be your third solo piece,
yes.
right?
But we're very lucky to have Bridget able to step in because I was going to do it, but then now I'm in Indianapolis acting in English, and Bridget was so gracious and said, "Sure, I'll
Yeah,
come."
because like I'm like, the curator of the festival and stuff like that, and like I just found out that Bridget was in. I was like, what? So it's like it's really. So I'm really glad that I'm on top of stuff and I'm helping to guide the process in a way that you can all just feel comfortable that I have a firm hand on the tiller here. But it's like, what, who, what? No, but okay. So it sounds. So let me start. Let me just get some basics in here because this is for myself as well as for anyone who might be watching this. Is okay. Leyla and Domenique, you are the playwrights of this play, ICU, as in intensive care unit, ICU, and then Bridget will be performing this solo version that you are currently working on. And one reason I was so excited when I heard from John that you are into doing this is how timely it is because it, you know, who knows what's going to be going on between our country and Iran between now and when the festival starts in a week, and then who knows what's going to be going on then. But it is all of these things are going on in Iran, and it is so timely. So, can you, I guess, maybe just start by saying, sort of, what's it about? What's the story about?
I'll take the beginning part, and then Dominique can take over because um, she remembers things I don't remember all the time. Uh, It's basically the Women Life Freedom Movement, which I think you remember in 2022, was a big uprising led by mostly women, mostly young, but men were also involved. It was pushing against not only the regime's brutal crackdowns, but also a young woman, Mahsa Amini. She was Kurdish background. She was young. She was 22 years old. Her headscarf slipped a little, and they beat her to death. And I think it was just this moment people had just, it was enough already. And thousands of people went into the streets. And the crackdown was very brutal and very strategic. They would do lots of awful things, but one of the awful things was shooting people in the eye.
Oh my God.
Yes, and Dominique was reading about that, and it just kind of caught her attention, because as a metaphor, as a symbol. Anyway, so this is a story of it's five women and one man, and they're people who found themselves involved with these protests. Some of them got blinded. One of them's a nurse. They have different stories, different endings to their stories, different ages, but it's the intersection of their lives, their experiences. There is humor in it. It's not just, you know, feeding on the fascination of the horror of it all. These are real people, and we did a tremendous amount of research, read books, looked at Human Rights Watch Iran. There's lots and lots of research, and amazingly enough, the tactics were used in the recent massacre as well of the protests.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
Dominique, I defer to you.
No, I think you covered most of that, and it's at the time, the horror of shooting protesters purposefully in the eyes so that they could then find them in the hospitals, in 2022, 23 was this horrific thing. And then, of course, now in the protests that have happened, not only were they doing that, but now they're even doing worse things. They were just going into hospitals and just shooting people, who had eye wounds, just killing them there. So you almost thought when you began writing this, how could it get worse? But it actually can get worse. But yeah, I think, Leyla, you covered pretty much. We felt compelled to write something. We felt compelled to explore normal people, what's happening to them. They're not heroes, or they're not, some people have a life in protest. Our narrator does, but all of the other characters don't have that. And just to see how differently these events affect them and the world that they're in, without making it a dirge about horrific trauma.
Yeah, yeah.
Layla's a brilliant comedian, Leyla is, and she has such a wonderful eye for finding the darkest, funniest humor in the most horrific situation. And so that's just brilliant. I'm so happy that's really a huge part of the fabric of the play.
Yeah, Josh, I don't know if you saw the Panahi film, the most recent Panahi film.
What's the
It's
title?
called it's
It
called
was just an accident.
Just an Accident, and
Not yet.
there's a lot of humor there. The thing is, people, we live our comfortable, cushy lives, and we assume that people who go through tragedy are a certain way. But we saw interviews with, like, there's a woman who was tortured, and she is so matter of fact. She's like,
Mm.
yeah, now I got arthritis here from all the yeah, all the beatings in my back, but it's not this. You see actors constantly being like, oh, and it was so awful. When you hear people talk about horrible things that have happened to them, they had to make some kind of decision inside how they're going to survive
Mm.
psychically, and I don't know, there's a certain humor and disconnect that has to happen because of the absurdity of the extremity of it. It's not what you think all the
And
time.
also kind of a miraculous resilience because, right, like if you were to just sort of do a cliche of someone who is brutally oppressed in the worst possible way, then in a way, if you're not actually fleshing them out as real people, you can kind of turn them into these cardboard characters of
Yes.
sufferers, and in fact diminish them, which is in fact what, to an extreme, the regime is trying to do.
Yeah, and Josh, you could be shot in the eye tomorrow, and then you would still be Josh. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we are who we are. Whatever trauma we go through, we still have our essence. So I guess what I wanted was people who are people. and just
Yeah.
happen to have this thrust upon them. But they're all different. One's a little bit space cadet, always looking at the bright side. One is this hardened older woman who's already been in jail. She's the narrator. She's narrating from solitary confinement. That's why the concept is she's she's acting out these characters that are the women she's met in prison and heard their stories and she's telling them for you. But I thought it was great that a woman in solitary confinement, and it's very direct address to the audience. It's just like, hi, I'm
Yeah.
here by myself.
Yeah. Well, it's also,
Hey.
I mean, solitary confinement is, as I've learned, but I mean, it's true. It's torture. I mean, it's an awful thing to do to a human being. It's an inhuman thing to do to a human being. And the idea of having someone who has been sort of totally dehumanized, or they've attempted to totally dehumanized, coming at us, telling her story, hi, that itself already is like revolutionary to me. I mean, that's resistance right there,
And
And
there are
you
also
have to
moments of,
survive.
sorry,
Oh,
Layla.
just you're not going to survive if you can't find strategies and tools in your mind. What do you think, Dominique?
I was just going to say there are also moments both in the full-length play and in the solo show of magic. These sort of magical moments that happen in the darkest time. There might be just this extraordinary moment of dance that's happening, or that there's a song or music, something that you just wouldn't expect or that is forbidden. And there are these moments that happen that really are expressions of the resilience of the human spirit.
Yeah.
And also, it's
Most direct.
subversive. In Iran, it's illegal, to dance for women and for women's voices, for women to sing is illegal. So
It's illegal for women to sing in Iran.
yes, yes, it is. You will never hear a woman's voice on the radio. You won't, yeah. So I thought, ooh, this is a great subversion. It's a rebellion. So in the play, of course, there's dance, and um, there's a Persian song that I'd like to have a woman sing. Bridget doesn't speak Farsi. I barely speak Farsi, but I could sing it, in Farsi. But it'll play. It's the Baraye was this song that became the emblem of the women life freedom movement. So, but music, dance, and singing. I mean, when they have these funerals for these young people who just got massacred, they dance at those funerals and they sing as a protest.
Right.
That's extraordinary and incredibly beautiful. It's also, I mean, that is an incomprehensibly extreme situation of just horror and terror. And as it also happens, of course, in our country, we're not going through a great time politically ourselves, right? And so I think it also, I think, maybe helps us to get in that empathetic spirit, of ordinary people being faced with extraordinary times, and having to find joy in it, and organization and comfort in it, and resilience, and a sense of fighting in it. And so, I mean, to have women in Iran who are not even allowed to sing or dance, and then are being killed and assaulted, and it's to have this expression back, saying, actually, we're not eliminated, you're not turning us into nothing, in fact, we're going to be our full selves. I mean, that's I think a lesson for all of us, right?
Women are allowed to sing or dance with each other, just not in any mixed. Not
is
in
that
any.
the case?
Well, you can't be in a mixed. I mean, women with each other don't have to wear hijab, so
Okay.
whether we like when I went as an adult, but I lived there as a kid, but I went as an adult, and they have whole subway cars just for women, and the women are really pretty raucous. They're not wearing their head. They don't have to. In Islam, it's
Yeah.
just you don't have to wear it actually with your father or your brother or your husband. It's just men who are not your father, brother, husband, or they're not women. You got to cover up. So those kind of the Muslim rules. Can't sing in front of men. I know it's weird.
It strikes me as, in my opinion, wrong. So
You think?
to impose that, I mean, on others, I mean,
To impose anything on others. I mean, in this
it's
country,
horrifying.
it's just fundamentalism. There's nothing wrong with Islam. My family's Muslim. They're great people. It's not the whole family's Muslim, but I have practicing Muslims in my family. It's the fundamentalism. If this country got the Christian fundamentalists in charge, let me tell you.
Christian nationalism, yeah, Jewish nationalism. It's just there's
Any
some issues with the
extremism.
nationalisms. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Just, yeah, as soon as you start really oppressing people because you want them to do this or that, it's going to be bad. And so
But
it's
then what
not
we
just,
see is, when we're inspired, and then we'll learn more from ICU in this really wonderful way. But we'll learn about that human beings are not totally destroyed when fascists or extremists or fundamentalists attempt to destroy them, attempt to turn them into something is limited by the extremists' own idea of what they think they want. To make them projections. In fact, people resist being projections because people are people.
there's a
And
lot of
even
courage too. Real courage, like you've never seen. People willing to give their lives, they got nothing to lose. Like the real courage is going on there now.
I can't, I
Yeah.
mean, I can only begin to imagine. It's just so horrifying. All the news that comes in is so horrifying. And one of the things about things that are horrifying is that you can turn away. Right. And as or someone said, well, it's unpleasant. I'd rather not deal with it. I'd rather not know this horrible stuff is happening because it's troubling to me, because it's horrible. And these are human beings just like I'm a human being. And, and so, but in my experience, the attempt not to look, it takes a huge amount of effort, and then is ultimately self-attacking. Because if you cut off you cut off your empathy, you cut off your caring about other human beings, you end up actually sort of cutting it off in yourself. You cut off your humanity, in my experience.
I would say our play, I really resisted going into gory details for peaceful fascination. We have enough movies that tell you about all the horrible things. We don't need any more of that. What we need to center is the power and resilience, not the trauma that came on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have enough of that already. It's become a cliche even. She was raped and she was, we don't need the details. Thank you. I would much rather see the person, see what they did, see their resistance and their power, their intelligence, their humor, that's more interesting to me.
Well, and we also have resonance with that. We recognize ourselves in that. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're watching a play about a bunch of superheroes or something. Do you know what I mean? They're people we can recognize. Oh, that's me. And that little thing they just did, I could maybe do that little thing, or maybe I couldn't. But it's a doorway in for us.
That's yeah.
We don't have a way in because they're not fully realized humans.
Right.
Yeah,
So
people
in a way, I was
scared.
thinking about the diminishment of sort of into these sort of shallow or diminished ideas that one might have of people without knowing them as real human beings. But there's also this blowing up of sort of this or idealization or canonization, so that you get this idea like you were just talking about, but it's like you get this idea, well, you have to be an extraordinary superhero in order to fight against repression like this. That is what it takes. Oh, that must be some superhuman thing that I personally, as an ordinary person, could never do. And I think one of the things that I know that I'm facing, and we're facing my family, my friends and stuff right now in this country is like a lot of us are going, well, I'm not really temperamentally suited. Like, I don't see myself resisting. I don't know. Like, I'm not good at that. I'm really good at just kind of chilling, and but in fact, when things become so onerous that you feel called to resist, what you learn, and what I learned from others, is that what you do is you do what you can as yourself, right? That you bring yourself, so that in fact, one of the impediments, I'm really fascinated by impediments within myself to action, impediments to resistance, impediments to connection that are internal, right? And one of those impediments is just to go, well, I'm not that kind of person, right? And so that's what you're saying. What you're saying is that, wait, no, I am, because that kind of person is in fact all these just human beings who are all these different kinds of people, each in their own individual idiosyncratic way, responding to the repression and with this resistance and art and creativity. And I just think I just think that's a beautiful message. It's a beautiful message for everybody. It's a beautiful message for Americans now. I don't know. I'm just really, I'm really thrilled. I'm really thrilled. I'm just really excited to see it too, because it's like I think you've been able to pick up from this conversation. I don't know if I've covered it up or anything, but I'm not super knowledgeable about what's been going on in Iran, and I just basically have been aware of just more and more unbelievably terrible things.
Well, there's information overload. I mean, you can't know about every single, there's so many wars right now. I mean, I don't
I know
expect,
it's hard to keep
we
up.
fill people in at the beginning. Yeah, we're pretty understanding. We fill in a little bit and I wouldn't say, I mean, I don't know. I think it's an unusual piece. I don't think it's a typical one in how it treats its content.
I'm expecting atypicality. And as curator, I welcome it. So I want so you two are writing it. You're not going to perform it because you're far away, but Bridget will be with us and will be performing. And so what exactly what is the adaptation that's happening here between the play and making it into a solo piece for Bridget to perform? What's happening with that?
How do you mean what's happening with it? Sorry.
Like like is Bridget, are you playing like 5 or 6 people? Are you playing one person who is in solitary confinement who is portraying other people from solitary confinement? Like, what is the format of it?
Yes, so Shabnam, who is the eldest of the group of women, she is the one that is telling it from her magical little cell. And there's one male, Habib, who is Zaftab's brother. So I'll be playing 5 of the women and Habib, who is Zaftab's brother. And so Shabnam is guiding the entire audience through these stories of these women that were at this protest and they all got shot in the eye. And it's from their perspective. So Daria is, say, 15 years old. Zafta Tara, who is a nurse, treating the women in that hospital in Evin. Well, Evin is the prison, but in the hospital that they were in, yeah, she's caring for them. Zoha is her sister, who is visiting from Chicago. So and she has she's been in the United States for 12 years. So she's coming back into her own country with a certain need and desire to be a part of the women, the people, her country that she hasn't really been a part of for the last years that she's been in the United States, studying, trying to be an ophthalmologist who's an eye doctor.
Well, that seems relevant. So,
yeah.
And how did you get brought in? Like, where are you coming in from? Were you shown a script?
So I was going when Leyla was going to do the performance. I was going to just do some of the movement and choreography. Domenique had asked me to come in and just like support the movement aspect, because there is some dance, there is a violent moment that we're doing, that we're actually, even though it's one person, there is a moment of violence put upon Daria, who's the youngest of them all. And so I was going to just do movement, but then when Leyla got this amazing opportunity to go to Indianapolis, yes? She got this amazing opportunity to be in English in Indianapolis. Domenique asked, and Leyla asked if I wanted to do it.
In English, what does it mean?
She said yes. Thank you.
You never play English, Josh? It was at Berkeley Rep. It won the Pulitzer Prize 2022. It's my 3rd time doing the play English by Sanaz Tusi.
Okay, cool. No, I'm really on top of everything. I'm on top of world politics, and I'm also on top of the theater world. as far as I know, on the Pulitzer Committee myself, and so it's really
You
it's
don't
like,
have
oh,
to
in English, what does that mean? That is okay.
the name of the play, yeah.
That's the name of the play. That's it. I really got some catching up to do. It's just there's so much on TV that it's just really hard sometimes to branch out. Theater.
I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link to the
Send me a
thing.
link. Send me a link, and also the movie that you were mentioning that I should have seen
Oh, the
already.
Panahi. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, you got to see that.
Yeah.
Panahi is important, man. He's a real deal. He's going to go back to Iran to certain jail,
Well, his co-writer,
He's already
screenwriter,
in jail.
is in jail. He just got arrested, So
Yeah, these are people, talk about the front lines. And he's not willing to stay here. He could. He's like, no, that's my home, Iran. I'm just going to go back. He's already been under house arrest, hunger strike. These are brave.
it's like Navalny, going back to Russia. You're just
Yes.
like, nope, that's going to be bad for you, but he's going anyways. So,
But he's going, and that's his home.
Yeah.
That's where he belongs. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So this is kind of a whirlwind thing. I think just generally this is when
Say about it.
exactly was it today that you were asked to go from just doing movement consultation to actually embodying all 6 characters in the
It
show?
was like
What was it this
it
morning?
was it was the first week. Was it like the first week of Feb?
maybe, yeah, maybe.
It was, yes. I was just about to open a show, and Dominique wrote it in an email. Hey, Bridge. I don't know how you're going to respond to this, but I'll just humbly wait for your answer.
So
And
my thing would be that would be like you'd have to sort of readjust what you were expecting, your expectations on yourself and the pressures on yourself, like completely, right?
Well, it would have been work in progress anyway. I mean, it was going to
It's
be
a
with the
work in
script.
progress.
Yeah.
Oh, the work in
Script in
progress stuff is too. Like everyone's. I mean, I'm doing work in progress at the festival too. I mean, it's right. So by itself, that already is kind of nerve wracking and cool and beautiful, and audiences will have a great time. But it's like, but then also like
It is
you're reconfiguring a multi-person play into a single person,
Yeah.
a single performer play, and then you're also changing the performer.
Yeah.
We're rolling with it, baby. Because you know what? The times are demanding that we do something. So we can't play around.
We have to be adaptable. It's like we can't just like say, you can't just like say, well, this is my lane anymore, because just sometimes, it's like the demands. I'm really not gonna be able to play out the traffic imagery into a metaphor that will work at all. But all I'm saying is that we have to be in many lanes. We have to do what we're called upon to do. And in the case, I'm assuming, Bridget, that you haven't immersed yourself in the past in the history of Iranian women and the revolt, or have you? Are you already an activist?
I have a lot of Iranian friends. I have a lot of Muslim friends. But I was also living in the Middle East for 3 years.
Oh,
So
where?
I have a little bit of a history of actually living in the Middle East. It was not Iran, and it is different. There is a difference between, Iran and some of like the Arab nations, yeah?
Yeah.
But I feel very thankful that I've had those 3 years. They were short 3 years, but they were still 3 years from 2007 to 2010 that I was living in Egypt, Dubai, and throughout the UAE. I had some time in Morocco, in Qatar, in Oman. So I was in that realm for a little bit, and I was
right.
exposed to a lot of people.
Yeah. But this
And being absolutely immersed in the culture. I mean, for Ramadan, for Eid, for all of it.
That you were then when you lived there.
Yes, both when in Egypt and throughout the UAE.
But
And I wanted to.
you're part Bedouin. I mean,
Yes, I have.
Arab heritage.
On
Like,
my father's side, my grandfather, I have some Bedouin Saudi blood in my
flowing through
blood.
your veins.
So
Yeah,
you're
and in
actually,
Indonesia,
You're
I'm
Middle
sorry,
East.
what?
and in Indonesia, so my family is from Indonesia, and in Indonesia, it's the largest Muslim, yes, um, population outside of the Arab world.
Oh, there's so many things that I
So
didn't know until this conversation. And
Josh, you are blowing your mind tonight.
but actually, so
and
actually you're like a natural, you're a natural to be the person to be asked to do this.
not, I don't know, I would say natural, but like
You're not
I would,
unnatural.
if it's not a culture or a heritage that I feel separate from. I
Got it.
feel actually quite close to that heritage.
Cool. And so, which I imagine is helpful for
Sometimes,
you two playwrights, right? I mean,
Well, I'm
to have your
Iranian.
actor be someone who has this affinity
Oh,
culturally.
honestly, Josh, I could really personally care less because I really don't like all this like embodied experience. You have to be Iranian to do this and that. I just believe in acting and the craft. Honestly, I don't care what you are as long as you're not white. As long as you're non-white, you can play this part as far as I'm concerned. Because what non-white person has not had colonization and trauma and all these things, you know? So for me, it's more universal in that, like, I don't want any Persian accent or anything in this play. People talk like how they talk,
Mhm.
because they're just people. There's no othering going on here. I don't want any of that. I just
Right.
want, these are the people, you get to know them as people in their essence. And I don't want any kind of exoticism or anything like that. So yeah, I happen to be Iranian and I would be playing it, but I am not hung up on. I know there's a lot of people hung up on that stuff. I'm not. That is not me. I
I
say
mean,
you be fabulous and create this character, but just please don't be white because white privilege is a real thing, and I just didn't want to, give another white actor, like some sort of minstrel show. So yeah, as long as the people color. And honestly,
Yeah.
I had this book of photographs from Iran, and they look like they're from everywhere. It's huge. Iran's a huge country. Up north, they look like the Caucasus, like blonde hair and blue eyes, green eyes.
Mhm.
And then Central Asia literally look East Asian. Down in the south, they look African, you're North Africa. It's really fascinating. And so people who have their stereotypes, oh, Middle Eastern people look like this or whatever, it's totally Eurocentric. It's really not real.
I mean,
Well,
Josh,
it's so.
I was really nervous because obviously I'm not Iranian.
Mm.
I'm, I have a little bit of Saudi blood, but I'm not Iranian. And when I was asked to do it with Leyla and Dominique, it was one of the things that I had talked about, and they had made both of them so they're so beautiful and so wonderful and so welcoming. They were like this. They
Yeah.
said the same thing that you're hearing now to me, in the earlier days, like a few days ago, a few weeks ago. So
And so that gave you that stilled any questions that you had or any compunctions that you had or fears about somehow being
not being
distanced from
Iranian,
not being appropriate, not being Iranian.
not being appropriate, not being Iranian, exactly, not being Persian.
Yeah.
Josh, the
And
play is not really appropriate. If you're looking for something appropriate, you don't come to see our play. It's irreverent. It's not. I am not appropriate. Not appropriate. There's swearing. There's ridiculousness. Please.
I'm sorry, I wasn't told this before, and I'm as the curator, I'm kind of taken aback. This is,
You're hilarious. I want to see your show, Josh. You're really funny.
yeah. Well, you can if you're in Indianapolis, because I'll be performing in San Rafael at the One for All Festival along with Bridget.
I know, but do you have a video of your show or anything? Can I see it?
Yeah, I can hook you up. I can hook you up.
Okay, because I would really love
That
to
would
see
be
your.
I'm actually sort of jealous. This is like incredibly coincidental, but I almost was going to be in Indianapolis this week.
No,
So
why?
yeah, and then at Indianapolis University, because they're showing the 25th anniversary screening of a movie that I made with my brother 25 years ago, and I found out that they're showing it at Indianapolis University in the cinema department. So I wrote to them
Wait,
and I said, well, I'm the guy, want to bring me there? And so
When
this really
I
nice
could
professor
go.
got really excited. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to try to get, try to get the budget together to do it." And then like yesterday, it was like, couldn't, couldn't get the budget. So I'm also a little bit jealous because you actually, it's like to Moscow, to Moscow, to Moscow. It's like my Indianapolis was on my horizon and then was denied to me. And I'm so glad that you have achieved it.
I had no idea
Leyla,
you're a
did you go?
filmmaker. I would totally go. I'm a total cinephile, believe it or not. I
Oh,
used to
okay,
teach
cool.
film. Yeah. Please tell me
Yep.
about it. How
Well,
to get
the movie's called Haiku Tunnel, and it's and I can hook you up with a copy of that as well. Or if you're around the campus of Indianapolis University this Friday, I won't be there. That's in 2 days from when we're talking, February 27th. But they are screening it. They're screening it for their students.
That's
And I'm gonna do
Congratulations. Yay.
thanks. I'm gonna do a Zoom interview with the professor that he's gonna show at the thing. So anyhow,
Haiku.
but yeah.
Hey.
I love it.
So yeah, so there's there's weird intersections. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
cool. Is
I
there
was a
anything
little
else that
curious.
yeah?
Oh,
Go.
I have some questions for you, but they're logistical. Maybe they're not for the interview. I just wondered.
Okay, cool. It's about my criminal history or anything.
Yeah, off the
Yeah.
record. No, I just want to know how best to promote it. I got so many emails. I wasn't sure which is the link I should send to people and how do I,
Oh yeah.
like there's a
I
little
have those
trade.
questions. I have those questions as well. And so I'm figuring that is I'm figuring out as well is because there's so many great performers over 3 weekends, long weekends with in such variety and stuff, and I want people to know about it. And it's choose your own price, so it just seems like wow, this is a real invitation to see amazing things for whatever price
Yeah.
that you're comfortable paying, And I was like,
Mhm.
so how do I do that? How do I invite people? But I think at the very minimum, if you push them over to the Marin Shakespeare Company website, I think you can't go wrong. So
All right.
yeah, but you hit me up. I'll send you links, whatever, and I'm really excited that these interviews are going to be what they're going to do is probably this is really fun for me because I get to just have the conversation, and then like some creative person will select a little bit of it's like, and so first I thought, I really thought, well, I'll talk to everyone for like 5 minutes, and no, none of them have been like 5 minutes. And so
Can't shut up because we just
yeah, so
want to talk.
I'm just sort of because I just want to keep talking with you guys. So anyhow, so they're going to put out like little snippet versions, but also they'll say if you want to see more of this, you can go to the website and see more of it. So see there, so people that's the deal. That's a deal.
I wish you could see. But you know what? I am really honored that you are letting us do this as a first showing work in progress script in hand, because it's a real privilege, to get to be part of this lineup. The people you have are amazing. And, I just feel really honored to get to be part of this. So thank you so much.
Oh, sure. Yeah, wait, you're saying it's book in hand?
It's work in progress. Yeah.
No,
book in
I'm sorry, but I wanted something that was appropriate, that was totally appropriate and off book.
We are not your gals, baby.
I thought I was really clear. I thought it was really clear, although it was hard for me to be really clear since this is the first conversation we've ever had in our lives with each other.
Book in hand, baby. Yeah, I would have had book in hand too. It's a big thing I've done 2 one-woman shows. It takes months to like memorize 40 pages. So
Well,
yeah,
Bridget's just coming
I
into
love
the process.
what?
Yeah.
What?
I said, and Bridget's just coming into the process. Leyla and I have been working in it for over a year and a half, so at least the fabric of those characters are in us as well, even though the structure of the solo show is different and new. But then welcome Bridget. It's like I said, do not think a moment about having the book in your hand. It's going to be great with the book in your hand. It's going to be awesome with the book in her hand.
You. But the play does have legs. People are very interested in it. We just had an interview with an artistic director of a theater interested in maybe co-producing, or it's a lot of things are burbling. I might come back in June, do it in this other theater in San Francisco. So count yourselves as like you are the play incubator. You are the first launch, first show.
No, I think it's actually really, it's an opportunity for a lot of our artists to work on stuff, to present new things. And it's such a beautiful space and such a wonderful audience and environment that it's, I think, just incredibly conducive to, everyone is really interested in the process and really interested in, oh, this is the story being made. And so I think it's like, I'm super excited by it. So yeah. And the book in hand, when you see book in hand, it'll probably be the script, right? It won't be some other book. That's just like a term of art. Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's the script, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I just want to suddenly picture that, like, Bridget be reading War and Peace while also trying to do these characters. And I don't want to impose, because I'm the curator, I don't want to impose artistically on you guys, but if that was your plan, I was going to go, maybe just let her focus on the script,
I just think people just get to go along for the ride and however they want to imagine things that could be more. Dominique's amazing. Dominique's got there's a fight choreographer, there's a music director, it's incredible how much she's putting together here for me, it's like a stage reading, but she's just got a lot of stuff happening. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see it.
Wait, there's gonna be things is there gonna be lasers and things and rising and falling and turntables and
disco ball?
There could be, yes. There's a disco ball in the full play, but not in this one.
Oh, okay. Wow. This is, yeah, it's weird because I think it might be clear to anyone who watches this full interview that I haven't been totally involved in the development of this up until this very moment.
There's a lot of one-person shows you're juggling.
It's a new experience for me. I never curated anything before, so it's like all of these different people with their art. It's like, oh my God, I'm used to being that person and trying to convey to everyone around me that I'm helpless. That sort of thing. But now I'm sort of.
You're in charge.
Well, I try to be with a gentleness. So.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be great. The whole thing's gonna be great.
I'm really jazzed. I'm really excited. It's gonna be really fun. I'm excited. It's a lifetime experience. So, and I'm really nervous. I really want people to show up. I really want people to come and to take advantage of having access to all these great people. Yeah.
Send us whatever links you want us to send around. I have Instagram and Facebook, and I already put some stuff, but there's so much stuff. All of a sudden you have a trailer. Trailer? You got that.
I did a recording from right here in my living room. That was our low budget trailer. Well, that's the entire trailer. And I didn't even do it right. But it's something. It's something.
The trailer's great. And you know what? I want to be more. There may be more deers a day, but I've always wanted to be a little more.
Oh, that's right. Because I also, your name was misspelled, and I read it in the misspelling. But even as I was saying it, I was telling John this earlier. I was saying, I didn't realize that it was actually not your name when I was saying it, of course.
It's okay.
So I was saying a name that wasn't yours, which is egregious. And also because I was originally a copy editor, so it actually causes me an enormous amount of pain. But also I was just like, I knew that I didn't know I was actually, they had the wrong letter in it, that I wasn't even saying it right, but I knew that whatever it was I was saying was not a really good representation of saying your name, even if I had said it correctly. So why don't you now tell me, say your name so that I hear the real name? It's
like Mo from Larry Shep and Mo, the Three Stooges. So just think Mo. Deer, like deer in headlights, deer.
Yeah.
Za, like that belly dancer with the zill. Za, my name is Za. So Mo, deer, Za, and then day, like tomorrow's a brand new day. So it's Mo, deer, Za, day. Leyla Modirzadeh, Leyla Modirzadeh, Leyla Modirzadeh.
Wait, is that to a tune? Like that's a tune. Da 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 da. Is that what you're doing?
You gotta sit with the judge, and you'll never forget my name, honestly.
Leyla Modirzadeh, Leyla Modirzadeh.
Leyla Modirzadeh.
Is there any other thing that follows that, or is that the whole lyric?
It kind of loops. It's kind of a loop.
Okay.
It's around.
Domenique Lozano.
Bridget Lorio.
Okay, cool.
Josh Kornbluth.
Okay, so I don't again want to impose. It's your show, but you might want to incorporate like a little a number like that. Just saying your names, singing your names.
I think that's a really good idea, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I guess I don't oppose it. I'm just putting it out there.
I don't know where you get these things, but it's fantastic.
No, they just
Golden
come.
nuggets.
It's like
Yes.
you know,
Golden
it's crazy.
nugget.
It's crazy. Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much. So I'm looking forward with inappropriate excitement to this
Fantastic.
presentation, and I'm
Right,
actually
will offend a lot of people.
like I super enjoyed this conversation, and I think I'm going to super enjoy the performance as well. And I hope that it's like a packed house, and I'm sure that Bridget will rock it.
You know what? It's 11 o'clock on the morning of Nowruz, the biggest holiday the Iranians have. So
Yes.
yeah, maybe no Iranians will be there, but lots of other people. And that's better because then we won't offend people quite as much.
Yeah, and in Marin, people really like being social at 11 a.m. So it should be fine. No,
Absolutely.
it should be, no, it's good. I didn't know about that holiday. It's weird given my encyclopedic understanding of Iranian culture and politics that I didn't know that was the biggest Iranian holiday.
The biggest
So
big Christmas for us. Yeah, it's huge. It's the big one.
Wait, so like there will be no Iranians there? Like
Probably not because it's on Nowruz, but there are a couple of very unfestive Iranians, and they might show up. My friend Sholay, she said she's not doing anything Nowruz morning. She'll roll over. She lives right there in Marin. The people who
so
are
we're talking
local,
about like mopey kind of Iranians might come. You're saying the non-celebratory Iranians.
oh, okay. So it's a pagan holiday, right? It's pagan. It's all about like Easter. It's like Easter eggs, except then when Islam came, they slapped the stupid Quran. Excuse me, cut that out, stupid Quran. But they slapped their religious thing onto this pagan holiday that used to have like growing herbs and it's goldfish, and it has these other things, hyacinth plant. So it's really not a religious holiday. It's ancient Zoroastrian really ancient kind of holiday. But they do it. They put this haftzin, the 7 things that start with S, and apples, and they have all these things. And you set it up. And, sometimes people walk on coals, jump over fire to purify for the New Year. It's the Persian New Year. It's their New Year.
Well, can't we do that? Can't we?
Lean into it. Yeah, I'll tell you, you can set up a haftzin for Nowruz. I think it's a great idea. I'll send you some links on how to do it. And any little Persian who wiggles through the filter of Nowruz and ends up in your audience will be like, wow, they remembered it's Nowruz. That's so nice.
And also I'm reaching out to people who hopefully will be watching this interview before seeing ICU, that if you're Iranian, you want to like put together some Nowruz.
It's Nowruz. You just make a table, a pretty table. You look online. Nowruz haftzin, 7 S's.
Done. I don't want to have a festival without Nowruz. I never want to create a festival that doesn't include.
You have to have Nowruz, yeah. And we're gonna do Nowruz here in the lobby because we're performing during Nowruz, and it's just a cool thing. You got to have an apple. You got to have some coins. You got to have a goldfish. Everybody ends up with lots of goldfish because they get their Nowruz goldfish. They don't know what to do with it, and it just lives forever. And so everybody's got like the Nowruz goldfish.
These are actual goldfish, like in a baggie with like from Palisades Amusement Park, kind of. Okay.
Yes. In fact, I'm gonna recommend a movie for you, Josh, about I think it's a Panahi movie, The White Balloon. Anyway, it's about the little girl who goes to get the Nowruz goldfish and her adventures. I might be remembering it wrong, but yeah, it's classic Nowruz. Now you know. Josh, we have given you so many gifts tonight. There are so many new pieces of information that are now lodged in your brain. So happy.
No, it's weird because I really thought I had life down. As I was setting up for this Zoom, I was thinking, you know what? I think I now know everything. And clearly that was a premature conclusion on my part. So
Josh, I have a question for you.
Yes.
May I ask what your ethnic heritage is?
I'm a Jew. I'm a Eastern European Jew. I know I have the aquiline features of a waspy person, but that's deceptive.
No, you don't actually.
Oh.
You do not have
Hilarious.
any Caucasian features.
Are you Russian Jewish?
What?
He's Russian Jewish, right?
Russian,
Jewish?
yeah, Russian, we're trying to figure it out. My son and I were trying to figure it out, you know, because he's half Japanese and he's half Jewish on my side. But then the part that's Jewish, like the place where the ancestors seem to have come from seems to have morphed as they were excluded from various parts of it. So like it sort of maybe Russia, maybe then it became part of Poland, then it became part of Austria. So
Josh, that's interesting because your accent, I was going to ask you if you had any Japanese influence or any Asian, maybe
Really?
Asian/Hawaiian influence in your family anywhere. Because
I certainly do now. I certainly do now. I'm a few feet away from my Japanese American wife of many decades. So
okay.
yeah.
I can hear it in your voice.
So wait, oh wow, this is really cool. Wait, did you hear it? Do you hear it? She says she doesn't hear it.
You don't
She
hear
hears
the
New York.
Japanese.
She hears New York, but she doesn't hear Asian.
Are you from New York?
And also
Josh?
she also is like, you know, multiple generations of Americans before, so like she doesn't speak Japanese either. So yeah.
But you're from New York, Josh?
I'm from New York. I'm from Manhattan.
Classic. You know, my father's Iranian. My mother is half Irish Catholic, half Russian Jewish New Yorker. And her mother was a Russian Jewish New Yorker whose parents came over Ellis Island to the Lower East Side. So I'm a quarter Russian Jewish.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that Bridget was like had like Saudi blood and was like spent this time in the Middle East. I didn't know. There's just so much I didn't. In a sense, you could call this whole conversation what Josh didn't know.
Josh didn't know. You know what else? You don't even have to say Saudi blood because Saudi, you know, all these Arab countries were just carved up by imperialists. There were tribes. These are tribes of people, right? The Bedouins. It's Bedouin blood. It's not, it's not Saudi, but it's like Iraqi. These are tribes roaming around.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no real
deep Bedouin, like old school Bedouin ancestry.
Bedouin,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
there's so much you don't know, Josh, but we're gonna work on it with you.
Yeah, I'm just putting this out there. A series just with us called What Josh Doesn't Know.
I'm all over it. Podcast.
And the thing is, there will be no limitations in terms of subject matter is the great thing about it. It's as I think you're picking up on. You can just bring up pretty much anything and it will be something I don't know about, including my actual professional field of theater. So anyhow, thanks for taking this time. I'm glad we've had this conversation, and now and now I feel that I feel fulfilled in that. And so although actually I'd like to go on, but I think at some point I think you need to. I know in Indianapolis, you know, they make you do things at night, so like drive race cars and stuff. And so
yeah, it's my night off. Tomorrow night I got to see a play. I got to do all these things. So I'm glad we had this little time together.
Yeah, me too. I'm really glad that this was during your time off and not during a play.
Yeah, well, I'm 3 hours later, so it's.
Oh yeah, our conversation, as far as you're concerned, already happened.
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Leyla. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything.
We're all super excited. Looking forward to ICU and everything, and then also possibly having this little mini festival now that someone is going to run with who is watching this video.
And our podcast, What Josh Doesn't Know.
Oh.
What? Oh, right. The podcast. This is also the pilot episode of the podcast, What Josh Doesn't Know. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm glad we covered a lot of ground.
Shabahir, that's good night in Persian. Shabahir. Shabahir. Shabahir, yeah. Or Khodafez. Shabahir.
Shabahir.
Khodafez, goodbye, or Shabahir, good night. Or don't even try. Yeah, it's okay.
Shabahir. I think I'm Jewishizing it. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, take care. See ya.
Ciao. See you later. Bye.
Ciao. Bye. Shabahir. Bye.